Hey parents, I wanted to show you a couple things on Google Classroom that I have discovered. So the first thing I want to show you is when your child logs in to Google Classroom, the first thing they should look at is the stream. A lot of times I will post who did all their work, who did most of their work, and the kids can comment or make posts and comment on each other, so it's a good way for them to communicate. The next thing they're going to do is click on classwork. They will scroll down to whatever the day is. In this case it is Thursday, and they're going to do each assignment. So first they're going to do the daily check-in. When they click on this, it will take them to a Google form. They do their first and last name, answer all the questions, and click submit. Once they have done that, they click view assignment and mark as done. It is probably going to say you didn't attach any work. It is okay. Click mark as done because it is easier for me to see who has done it if they do mark as done. Also, for some of the assignments, like the videos I post that don't necessarily have questions to answer, I can't tell if they've done it or not unless they have clicked mark as done. Same with this video. Again, I can't tell that they've watched this unless they click view assignment and mark as done. For the math lessons, they have to do Zearn first. Okay, now if I click on Zearn right now, it's going to take me to the teacher page, but whatever the lesson is, that is the lesson they need to complete before doing their assignment. The reason being, Zearn is the actual instruction video. So if they haven't been instructed on this topic, then they're not going to understand this. There's still several students who are not doing Zearn at all and only doing this. There's some that are not caught up on Zearn. If your child is not caught up on Zearn, they need to catch up, and whenever they catch up, they can go back to these lessons and complete these Google Forms. So for example, if I am on lesson 14 and I just caught up to lesson 14 today, I can go back to Tuesdays and do this Google form and turn it in, and I will know that it has then been done. So don't have them do lesson 16 if they're not on lesson 16. They can go back in the days and complete the math assignments. Also with these assignments, I have attached manipulatives so they can figure out how many halves make a whole or how many fourths make a whole. And in our recent lessons cases with number lines, how many halves make 2 wholes. This is a very good website to use. I think I attached it in a class story for you guys to use as a resource as well. So again, when they're finished with all of this, they click view assignment and mark as done. As you can see, let me show you one more time. As you can see, when I click mark as done and I go back to the home page, it is then going to gray this assignment. That means you have done it and you have turned it in. I never turned this assignment in, so it's still blue. So that's an easy way for you to see. The read works, they click here. They will click sign in with Google and they'll click their NHCS student email address. Now mine, this took me to the student page. So they read the article, answer the questions. When they're done answering the questions, they click submit. Then they again go back here, click view assignment and mark as done. For the daily writing, I have attached, each student gets their own form. They click on it. I give them the prompt, I give them an example, and they edit their text here. Everyone should be able to edit. If you are not able to edit, contact me and I'll try to figure out what's going on. I always have the directions here, and then in bold, underline, and italics, I give them at least how many sentences they need. So for this one's a little different, and it says this in the directions. When they're finished, they click turn in here, and then again, they go back to the classwork page. Where was I? Thursday. Click here, view assignment, and it should show that, and you can see who has done it for the day. Your brain breaks and specials are for whenever your child needs a break. Attached here is each day's specials. There's Go Noodle videos they can look at, and then this is the virtual field trips. If they click here, it'll take you to the virtual field trips, which are also all the way down at the bottom. There's extra math resources, extra reading resources. Virtual field trips are also down here. One more thing I want to show you, and I'm no longer on the student page. Up here is a view your work. Now this is my student account, so it looks like I haven't done a lot. If it says assign, that means it was assigned to them and they have not turned it in. If it says turned in, that means they've turned it in, but I haven't checked it yet. Okay, what you want is in the following days, you are going to want to go back and look at a check mark. That means I've checked it and I've returned it back to them. Here it'll show you comments, this little comment box. I put great job or whatever I may put. I may also put a grade there. So it's easy for you to go back and check what they've actually done by going to that view your work tab. Again, if they've turned it in, it says turned in, but I haven't checked it yet. If it says assigned, that means they have not turned it in. And if there is a check, that means I have checked it, returned it back to them, and they need to check for comments. You can also come over here, see what they've been assigned, see what I have returned, and see what is missing, which there is no missing work in here because I don't put due dates on it because I want them to be able to go back if they have missed anything. So they can always click here to go back to the stream and then here to go back to the classwork page. Also, after assignments that I notice many students have not done well on, or I just feel like there needs to be feedback done, in this feedback and help section, I do a video going over the answers and teaching certain topics. So they should click on it and view the video. They need to check this pretty much every day. If there's only a few students that haven't done well on it, then I may not post it here. I will go and I'll show you on my page, post it and assign it to only the students who need it. So it'll show up in a student's classwork tab if I assigned it to them. Otherwise, if I feel like everybody needs to view it, it'll be up here. Please make sure that your child is caught up on Zearn. Again, I don't want them spending all day sitting in front of a computer. So if they're only on lesson 5 and we're on lesson 15 or 16 today, then have them spend some time doing Zearn, and then in the following days, like Fridays I don't give much work, they can go back in the days and complete the assignment for each lesson. I can see on Zearn how long they spend on each lesson, and I also get reports if they're struggling. So one of the biggest things I'm seeing is kids aren't caught up to the lessons. Most of you are, which is great. But just kind of be aware of that, because again, if they have not done lesson 16, then they're not going to do well on lesson 16's work. I know this is a long video. One thing I want to say, in the Class Dojo story, I posted that we will have our student Zoom today at 2, but we will not have our parent Zoom because we had our 3rd grade town hall on Tuesday, I believe it was. If you feel like you need to meet with me, please message me and I will make a time, arrange a time to meet with you. That's not a problem at all. Or you can always message me through Class Dojo and we can work through things. As always, if you need any help or are concerned about anything, please, please, please let me know. That is what I'm here for. Thank you guys for being so supportive and helping your kids with their assignments. I know this is a tough time and stressful time for everybody, but I do appreciate all of your help on this.